This show is brought to you in part by viewers like you who joined a Patreon or become YouTube members. Thank you. And if you could, hit the like button and subscribe if you want more Browns-focused content.
Week 1 gave you a lot to be excited about. The two players I think stood out the most, on offense at least, were Harold Fannin Jr. and Dylan Sampson, especially if we're talking about rookies. Let's take a look into what they did and why what they did was just so impressive in this game versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Before I do that, I want to give a thanks to my sponsor for today's video, Sleeper.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code WORSTTAKE. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Harold Fannin Jr., Dylan Sampson. Let's go, man. I'm excited about this one. Let's talk about it, right? The receptions are really what we're talking about with Dylan Sampson. I thought a pretty impressive day as a receiver. And what I thought was very impressive about Dylan Sampson's day is they weren't really designing stuff for him, right? He was just doing this straight off of checkdowns, right? Just check release. You know, takes a check and then breaks a tackle, makes a big play here. This is the most intriguing thing about Dylan Sampson, is that if he gets somebody one-on-one in space, he can win, right? He even does a nice little chip block here. I think that's good. That's good. That's good too, right? Good amount of power on that, right? Chips him, puts Jack Conklin in a good anchor position. Maybe you can argue he needs to stay around there earlier, but I think they're telling him, get out there, be an athlete. Joe can give you that ball. And then one-on-one in space, he breaks a tackle. He gets north, puts a shoulder in, gets a couple extra yards after the contact there, right? Just big-time stuff here from a young player. Again, Dylan Sampson here. And this is where I'm most intrigued, right? When you see him as a receiver, this is where I start to go, oh, okay, I understand. I understand what the vision was for Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski when they wanted Dylan Sampson. Remember, Dylan was one of the players that they definitely hunted during the draft, right? There's that clip on Overtime where they're talking to Shador and they're like, hey, we're going to take Dylan Sampson. Then we're going to worry about getting you, right? And you can see why they were so enthralled with Dylan Sampson is because he's such a good match with Quincy Judkins, right? Like, you look at the receiving stuff that he can do, the stuff that you're not going to ask Judkins to do a ton of, even though you can ask Judkins to do some of this. Look how good he is. Again, it's just a simple flat, right? There's nothing special to this. There's no blockers out in front for him. You're not designing this play around getting Dylan Sampson the ball. This is just 2nd and 10. All right, they're playing off. Let me just take what the defense gives me, give my guy something to do, and then you get it to Dylan Sampson, and you give him something to do, and look what he does with it. You know, gets around, gets his head around, gets north, and then boom. I like the explosiveness into the physical contact here. Again, Dylan Sampson here. This time not in the gun. Out of more traditional formation. Think there's going to be play action, right? Not even play action, just straight drop back. And again, he's just the check down, right? He's in the backfield. They are running a little bit of a block for him, right? Well, I think David sees that he's going to get the ball, does a good idea to block, doesn't really get a good block off. And again, he's doing this stuff. It's not even designed. This is just playmaking. This is just playmaking. Now, again, the Bengals might not tackle well, right? But we saw this in Tennessee. We saw this in the preseason. This guy is making plays out of checkdowns. That's such a big thing to have on your offense, man. It's such a huge thing, right? We talk about David Njoku making stick dangerous, right? David Njoku can run a stick route, and he can take that stick route sometimes 40, 50 yards because he's just so powerful, hard to take down. This is the stuff that makes a good player a great player, right? Good players, they could do what's asked of them and get the 7 yards they're supposed to get. Great players, they can take plays that are ordinary and turn them into extraordinary plays, right? I'm not saying Dylan Sampson's there yet, but boy, this is some ordinary to extraordinary shit right here. Right? Like right here. This is a terrible throw by Joe Flacco. That stuff's in the dirt. He picks this thing off the ground. Keep in mind, this is 2nd and 15. The Browns are trying to get somewhere into respectable range here. And what he does is keep this drive alive here, right? Good route, catches this thing off the dirt, gets north, and it almost gets the first down. Takes a 2nd and 7, right? Or what would that have been? If he just went down where he got hit, that's 3rd and 10. No, 3rd and 12, my bad. 3rd and 12. Takes a 3rd and 12, an average little 3-yard gain that we've seen, our running backs, Pierre Strong, Jerome Ford, catch this ball, get tackled. Takes that, turns that into, boom, 3rd and 2? Are you kidding me? Again, I'm not saying he's great yet. He's got a lot of games to prove and consistency. But boy, this is the stuff, right? When we talk about guys who can take the ordinary and turn it into extraordinary, that's a great player right there, right? Those are the guys, the ordinary to extraordinary guys. Myles Garrett, he could take ordinary, make that extraordinary. This right here, this is a great play. If he does this consistently, he'll be a great player. Ordinary to extraordinary. Low throw, bad, like that probably most people would have just been 3rd and 15. Dead drive. We're punting. No. 3rd and 1, we get the first down. Boom. Now we score a touchdown, we take the lead. These are the guys that flip you, right? This is why I'm always in favor of drafting dudes. And Dylan Sampson right there, that's a dude play. He does that more often. He's going to be a certified dude. You know what I mean? But guys who can take ordinary, turn it into extraordinary, those are the guys who make a ton of money in the league because those guys are rare, right? And what you saw from Dylan and later on Harold, it's a lot of ordinary turned into extraordinary. Again, a little check down here. Great catch. Gets that momentum. Beats his man to the outside. All of a sudden now he has a blocker. Boom. Tries to cut up. If you watch my run video, right, he'd made this mistake earlier in the game. Fixes that. Goes upfield. You know what I mean? Hell on wheels. Another one. Again, keep in mind, they're not running slip screens to the guy. These are just check downs. Well, no, this was design. My bad. This is the design. They started calling plays by the time they got to the 3rd quarter for Dylan Sampson. All right, yeah, this is the design, right? Because they're pulling the guard out. This is the design. Catch, downfield. Let's do something with it. Again, man. This dude's got something. And look, I'll be the first to admit it. I was not on the Dylan Sampson train early on. I was very concerned that we were going to have to get this guy extraordinary chunk of the offense when he is 20 years old. He don't turn 21 till next Sunday. So I'm like, damn, he's 20. He's not big. I like his tape. I did the breakdown on his tape. I like this tape. But I didn't think he would be able to do this day one. But doing this day one, I mean, it's impressive. It's very impressive. And if this is what Dylan looks like, man, what does Quinshawn look like, right? Just kind of raise the bar on what you want to see from Quinn. All right, a little dump off here. Again, you know what I mean? Takes a little lane. Gets a good amount of yards here. Another one here where he takes a lane and good. I got chopped. Cilantro too. Yeah, spent the extra $1. All right, man. Tell me how it tastes. All right, let's look at Harold Fainin. We saw Dylan Sampson. That was pretty exciting. Let's look at Harold. Put up similar numbers. Number 44 at the bottom of your screen here. Think he gets the first pass of the day from Joe Flacco. It's a little out. Yeah, it's just a little out. I mean, there's nothing much to this. right? Catches it, brings it in. Very short-handed guy in college. Hopefully that continues in the NFL. Hey, and this is simple, just zone beater, right? Get into the space, catch it, try to do something with it. And you see, if he would have stayed on his feet here, he stumbled a little bit. I think he got the turf monster that got a lot of people today. But, still a nice little extra couple yards with an extension here. All right, Mr. Fainan in line now this time. Comes out, and I think he ran the wrong route here, but he got rewarded with the ball. So I think, and I'm just giving Jerry Jeudy the benefit of the doubt here because he is the veteran here, right? Jerry's supposed to be sticking here, and I think Harold is supposed to either come in or out, right? Leverage tells me he's probably supposed to come out. Because it wouldn't make very much sense for him to come in, given what's going on with the rest of this play. But you can see Jerry Jeudy here, right? Let's zoom in on Mr. Jeudy. He's not very happy with Harold after this. He's like, what the hell, man? You see, because Jerry's already starting his steps. He thinks this ball's coming to him. And he's like, what the hell is Harold Fainan doing here? So it's probably a mistake by Harold. Probably in the wrong spot there. All right, 3rd and 3 here in the third quarter, 13:30 left in the game. Harold is here in the slot, I believe. And this is what makes him very useful, right? He was basically the Browns' second option in this game, right? And he runs a great route here, right? In, out, whips him out, boom, gets the ball here. And then, boy, once he puts that foot in the ground and he starts that burst, he's dangerous. Look at his burst here. Yeah, he's dangerous there. Carries this guy for an extra few yards. Big time play there. Again, that's 3rd and 3. It's a big play. Keeps the drive alive. I believe that's on the same drive that Dylan Sampson keeps alive later on here. All right, so just good job, too, not getting caught up in this, right? Would have been real easy to get caught up in that. Doesn't allow that to derail his route, derail his timing. Gets his spot on time. Good stuff. This time he's coming out the backfield. Big number 44. Swings out. And then goes north, and in great hands here, right? Great recognition by Joe Flacco. I think Joe is literally yelling at him, run north, run north. He hears him. He runs north, throws this thing up, and then boom. Good catch here by Fainan. And then again, the good contact balance here, right? So he gets touched here, and he doesn't go down about 7 more yards. It's big time. It's big time right there. We got more from Harold? I think we do. This time, Harold Fainan, I believe he's just standing up like a wide receiver. He's right here. And he can just run these wide receiver routes fine. Good route. He's a big body. Tough to take down. Get you closer there. Again, this time, standing up just like a wide receiver. Takes a screen. This one just didn't develop. I think the timing was off here. I think Joe might have got rid of it too early. I wonder if this is like an immediate release thing. If it is, then I think Cornelius Lucas and Wyatt should be releasing quicker. But Wyatt and Cornelius kind of both get caught up here with these Bengals defenders. And that means what they're trying to create is a little alley here. And it almost works. But what they're trying to create is a little alley here so he can tunnel underneath and go north. You've seen the Browns do this successfully with Jordan Atkins, Seattle game 2023 with PJ Walker. If you remember that one play that Kevin ran there. So like when he has a guy who can do this, he wants to do this. I think the line just kind of sold here, right? Didn't get upfield quick enough. You know, this is immediate release. You know, I thought initially maybe Joe held it, but no. Well, maybe Joe should have held it, but no, Joe's supposed to get rid of that immediate. Look at the footwork. I mean, that tells you what the plan is here, right? Immediate release here. I don't know. Maybe they want to sell this a little bit harder. Get upfield. I just don't think this was ran cleanly. All right. Let's Harold Fanon. Very encouraging stuff. Again, whenever you can say a rookie, especially a 4th round, 3rd round rookie, did some things where they turned some ordinary plays into extraordinary ones, you're very excited about that. But that's Harold Fanon. That's Dylan Sampson. That's why I'm excited about both those young players. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.